From BBC Politics on X, Liberal Democrats call for fines of up to £1,000 for headphone dodgers who play loud music and videos on public transport. And they've accompanied it with, I think, the only photo I've seen on the BBC this year with only white people in it. I wonder why they did that. Evening, ladies and gents, how are you doing? Obviously, I'm going to read you the BBC story in a moment, once I've shown you this ridiculous cringe video from the Liberal Democrats Twitter page featuring Ed Davey, a man who's far more comfortable clowning around, gallivanting around a minuscule fictional racecourse on a hobby horse and generally behaving like a laughable middle-class clown, because that's the only people that his party appeals to. NIMBYs and soy boys, Guardian reading effete liberals who advocate this type of policy after spending decades promoting the policies that caused it. Because, of course, they only throw the people who generally play very loud music on trains in council estates in the north, like Middlesbrough, for example, which is 80% foreign at this point, all right? So they didn't care because they only send those people to live with poor working people in the north, as long as they keep Harrogate and Ripon and the home counties and all those nice middle-class places free of those pesky foreigners. They're happy to advocate bringing in more of them. But now, even though the plan was working brilliant, because all the leafy shires they live in don't have any of these people, now they've realised that despite the fact they don't have to live near them or, talk to them, unfortunately, they do interact with them for a very tiny amount of time when they're doing a commute on the train, and that annoys them. So, despite causing the problem over the last 30 years, now they're angry about it. Let's see what Ed Davey has to say, shall we? Yeah, there he is. It's just cringe, isn't he, Ed Davey? I hate Ed Davey. If I had to choose between sharing the buffet train with Ed Davey or Bill Cosby, I'd pick Mr. Cosby. And as you all know, they sell cans and alcohol in the buffet cart, so that's how bad it's got. I'd definitely rather hang out with a bloke who's renowned for slipping Rohypnol in people's drinks than Ed Davey whilst having a pint on a train. Obviously the BBC's covering it because they are the aforementioned middle-class arseholes that vote for the Lib Dems and Labour. Call to fine headphone dodgers who play music on buses by Becky Morton. The Lib Dems are calling for fines of up to £1,000 for headphone dodgers who play loud music and videos on public transport. Current railway bylaws already ban many forms of antisocial behaviour on trains and at stations, including using equipment to produce sound without permission if this annoys others. However, the Lib Dems want to change the law to explicitly ban playing music and videos out loud from a phone on trains and buses in England. A Department for Transport spokesman said there are already strict rules in place to prevent antisocial behaviour on public transport, including possible fines, blah, blah, blah. Right, listen, there's no need to read you this entire story. It's boring. It's boring. Ask yourself a simple question. Was there noisy music being played? And we've always had ghetto blasters. I got one for Christmas in about 1985. We've always had radios and things that played music that were portable. Was this a problem in 1985? Was it? Is it part of English culture to play horrendous rap, R&B and dance music at very loud volumes on buses and trains in the UK? Was it? No, it definitely wasn't. We all know the answer to that question. English culture was always quiet. I've travelled extensively. In many parts of the world, there is no quiet. Get on a train in India or somewhere in Africa or the Caribbean. The only places I've been that are quiet was England and Japan. And I remember one of the Japanese girls I met when I was out there telling me she thought English and Japanese culture was very similar. There was a hypothesis that we have similar backgrounds because we're an island people. The British are a lot more standoffish than the French and the Italians because they all hug and kiss each other and stuff. The British and the Japanese, they do a calm bow and we like to shake hands. We're not quite as touchy-feely, are we? There are some cultural similarities between the British and the Japanese, and one of them was nice silent public transport. The Lib Dems have promoted the culture of twerking and banging your head in public and basically acting like an obnoxious knobhead in public places for decades, and we all know who's doing it. It isn't middle-aged Englishmen, is it? Have you ever got on a train and saw a crusty 55-year-old English bloke banging his head to Tony Christie while his missus twerks on one of the seats? Have you? No, you haven't. But you all seen that viral video of a bird twerking on a disabled bloke's head.
Right now, it's a video that's going viral of me, the healthcare worker that's dancing on top of her patient's head. It's not what it is. Trust and believe. All I gotta say for now is angles.
Look at that poor bloke. Can you imagine? Imagine going in to see your granddad and some swarthy care workers rubbing a fanny lips on his head. Is this patient care nowadays? Is it? Brilliant. So at least I cheered myself up and was forced to watch that again today. Anyway, that's the story. We know it's a foreign culture that thinks it's a great idea to knock out bangers in the middle of a bloody train ride, all right? We know this, we know who's doing it, we know where it comes from, we know who promoted it for 30 years, and we know exactly why Ed Davey and the collection of gibbering simpletons, sparrow-boned, sparrow-brained soy boys that are in the Liberal Democrat Party, we know why they're doing it. Because they're NIMBYs. They were all right throwing foreign culture at working class people as long as they didn't have to see them. Merkel's a good example. I always talk about that little fat poison dwarf. She was happy importing 20 million foreigners to Europe because she doesn't let any of them within 2 kilometres of her house. But now they're forced to endure them on the trains. So they're going to legislate. Typical. It's like problem, reaction, solution. Cause a problem, make a load more laws. Make a load more laws. Brilliant idea. We love more laws. Rules and rules and laws. That's all these useless twats are good for. So that's what they've done. Fantastic. As usual, bugger everything up and then claim a solution while introducing a load of obnoxious laws that infringe upon your personal liberty. I love that. They don't even need to ban it. If on a rare occasion there's a bunch of old people going on a day out and they're playing George Formby on a transistor, they'd probably do it at some reasonable level that is just for that group in the corner of the train or something. They don't need to ban it. They just need to stop importing people that think it's a good idea to play very, very explicit lyrics at booming volumes all the time on public transport. And I'm not making this up. I was on a train in Los Angeles and there was a bloke playing booming rap lyrics that actually was so bad me and my missus were laughing. And the lyrics were, bitch, all you effing do is effing argue. Bitch. Over and over and over again. And this was on a public train in California. So, yeah, we know where this problem comes from. We know who caused it. Middle class, left-wing arseholes. All right? And we don't need laws to fix it. We need to start getting angry about it. That's what we need to start doing. All right, that's my 2 cents for the day. Please let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll be streaming at 7 p.m. UK tomorrow. All right, be there or be square. Toodle pip. Cheers.